a Thog video.
Hi, I'm Mike, and welcome to the latest episode of my Best Ever Game series. Now, today we're looking at another classic science fiction universe, and we can take our time because this time we're going to look at a turn-based strategy game. It's Final Liberation Warhammer Epic 40,000. Final Liberation, released in 1997 and developed by Holistic Design, puts you in command of an Imperial army attempting to halt the green tide of orcs on Volistad. After deploying your army in whatever configuration you choose, each side takes turns moving their troops and firing. The aim of each battle is pretty simple. Each side has a victory point total, and the first side whose total drops to 0 loses. You reduce the enemy score in two ways: one, by destroying enemy units, or making them so scared that they run away from the battle, and two, by capturing victory objectives. The game isn't as complex as some strategy games, making it easy to jump into and play. There are some nice features. For example, if the enemy has got some troops hiding in a building, you can always try to knock down the building to take them out in one go, and it's great for anyone who likes the idea of playing Warhammer 40k but doesn't want to go through all the effort of assembling and painting hundreds of figurines. The campaign, to be honest, is a little bit simplistic by today's standards. Essentially, you've got a planet full of orcs, and you move from area to area clearing the orc infestation. You might get an occasional orc counter-attack, but these are relatively rare. Certain areas of the planet, when conquered, will provide you with new troops or assets, but otherwise it can turn into a bit of a grindfest, conquering area after area. The cutscenes are absolutely cracking, however, and well worthy of note. In the campaign, Commissar Holt will keep you appraised of progress, and he's definitely a figure that you're pleased that you've got on your side. There are some areas of the game which you don't feel really come into their own. There's a close combat function, for example, but it's very rare you'll ever get to use it. Ranged combat is definitely the order of the day, and as a result there are some troops that you'll hardly ever use. My Commissar, for example, if I lose him, he's relatively expensive to replace, and except at short range, he's pretty much useless. Other troops include thud guns, or as the orcs apparently know them, target practice, and if you ever decide to employ rough riders in the fight, expect it to become like the charge of the Light Brigade, because of the suppression system in place. The suppression system, referring back to the scaring troops earlier, what it means is that if some troops get shot up, the other troops in their group may turn and run away from combat. So it's really good if you're facing, say, 3 or 4 enemy tanks, you can take out a couple of tanks and the others may just run away. But it means that the close combat charges are even less effective. You might send 4 or 5 groups to charge in at the orcs, lose a couple to enemy fire, and the others will turn and run out of control. Space Marines also aren't the all-killing troops that Warhammer 40k books would have you believe, behaving not hugely better than normal Imperial Guard troops. There are also some annoying bugs with a few maps. You'll find, particularly in the city maps, the odd area where you can place a tank in deployment, only to find that he can't then be moved from that position, and you end up effectively having to fight without that tank. I'd also make the point that generally the size of the orc army is equivalent to yours. So if you have a small army, you'll face a small enemy, and equally if you spend loads on a big army, you'll face one equally big. Nevertheless, the game is really good fun and has a nice balance between combat and army management, and you'll find yourself having to choose whether to spend resources on building up new regiments to conquer the planet faster, or whether to push all of your resources into one elite army. You'll also find that troops become less useful over time. At the start of the game, infantry backed up with a handful of tanks and artillery is perfectly adequate. But before long, you'll find that without anti-aircraft cover, and sometimes even with it, your army is doomed, and the infantry that was so useful at the start becomes less of a combat resource and more cannon fodder. The game is now available to buy from GOG.com and is well worth a try. The only point that I would highlight is you may have some issues getting it to run on modern operating systems. That said, I've got it going under Windows 10 with compatibility mode, so it is definitely doable. Thanks for your time. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, sharing, liking, subscribing, commenting particularly, they're awesome things to do. Thanks for your time, and hope you enjoy the next video. Bye.